Yeah. Every single thing you see I built. No inheritance, no safety net, no guilt trip quilt. Started with the nothing that they left behind. Turned the empty room into a state of mind. Yeah. People see the glow and ask what's the secret. The secret is there isn't one, you gotta seek it. Nobody handed me this road map. I drew it with my back against the track. Nobody handed me this, nah. No silver spoon, no open door, no applause. Nobody handed me this life. Everything I own, I paid with my price. No, nobody handed me this flame. I struck the match and learned to aim. Nobody handed me this ground. I built it from the bottom up and found. Privilege is invisible until you check. And what I had was just my own respect. Self-belief when the resources ran thin. That was the only capital within. So when they say you made it, smile and nod. But know that every step you walk was hard. Nobody handed me this, I claim it all. Every rise was earned inside the fall. Nobody handed me this flame. I struck the match and learned to aim. Nobody handed me this ground. I built it from the bottom up and found. Yeah, earned it all along an honest way. Nobody handed me this, and that's okay. Yeah. Read my skin like a map of the years. Every marker coordinated fears. This one here from when the world said no. This one from when I didn't know which way to go. I used to hide them under long sleeves, like evidence of something I believe. But scars ain't failure, scars are just the proof that something happened and you made it through. Cartography, mapping what I crossed. Every wound a landmark up the car. Cartography, read me like terrain. Every elevation was a different pain. Cartography, this my geography. Body keeping score on my biography. Cartography, I know this land, explored every scar and where I stand. The deepest ones don't show on the outside. They live in how I pause before I stride, and how I check the room when I walk in, and how I brace before I begin. But I'm learning how to read myself with grace. Not as damaged, but as a lived in place. Cartography ain't a tragedy, it's the whole geography of me. Cartography, this my geography. Body keeping score on my biography. Cartography, I know this land, explored every scar and where I stand. Yeah, every marketplace I've been. Cartography, wearing my skin. Yeah. Yeah, walked in and felt the temperature shift. Eyes calculating if I was a risk. Dress code in their heads that I didn't fit, but I pulled up a chair and I sit. Didn't need permission or a formal invite. Presence is a right, not just a polite. The room didn't expect me, that's their fault. I've been preparing for this since I was small. The room didn't expect me here, but expectation was never my frontier. The room didn't expect me, that's fine. The unexpected is where I draw the line. The room didn't expect me to stay, but I pulled up comfortable anyway. The room didn't expect me to speak, but I said everything they needed this week. Representation is a two-way door. I walk in so others can walk in more. The room didn't expect me, but they needed me. The absence of my presence was a deficiency, and I don't say that with arrogance or claim. I say it knowing who came before my name. Every ancestor who stood outside the gate, I walked through for them, I'm never late. The room didn't expect me to stay, but I pulled up comfortable anyway. The room didn't expect me to speak, but I said everything they needed this week. Yeah. Unexpected, undeniable hit. The room didn't expect me. Now it's clear. Yeah. I found a thing they said I shouldn't cross, and I crossed it, counted up the cost. The red line on my map was drawn in fear by hands that never planned on me being here. Geographic prejudice runs deep in the bone. The boundaries of belonging I was shown, but lines on paper don't determine worth. And I was born with the same right to this earth. Red line. Boundaries built from hate. Red line. But I'm the one who's great. Red line. Somebody else's design. I'm living on the other side of every line. Red line. I crossed it years ago. Red line. Now watch the garden grow. Red line. Couldn't keep me in the small. I live beyond the line that tried to stop. Systems built to limit become maps. I navigate the gaps between the traps. Every barrier designed to keep me still became a navigation of my will. Not naive to the struggle or the cause, not pretending nothing's ever lost. But the red line is a human-made mistake, and human-made mistakes a human can break. Red line. I crossed it years ago. Red line. Now watch the garden grow. Red line. Couldn't keep me in the small. I live beyond the line that tried to stop. Yeah. Drew the line in the wrong place. Red line. Red line, I took the space. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't need a stage to make a sound. My presence resonates without the crowd. The quietest people change the most, operating like a different kind of host. They measure influence in volume and views, but I measure it in the shift in the room. The way your conversation tilts my way, the thing they think about for the rest of the day. Loudest in the quiet, that's my range. Don't need the noise to beat the change. Loudest in the quiet, soft and true. The echo lasts when the thunder's loudest in the quiet. This my frequency, not the flash, but the residence. Loudest in the quiet, I resound long after this spectacle dies down. Charisma isn't always a loud display. Sometimes it's the thing that lingers a day. The idea you plant without the show. The seed you leave in the mind that grow. I move mountains with a careful word. Shifted thinking with the truth they heard. Loudest in the quiet, steady flow. The deepest rivers move without the show. Loudest in the quiet, this my frequency, not the flash, but the residence. Loudest in the quiet, I resound long after the spectacle dies down. Yeah. Quiet loudness, lasting lasting impact. Loudest in the quiet, that's my track. Yeah. They handed me the pain of the generation, wrapped in love but laced with limitation. This is how it's done, this is what we do. This is who we are and who are you. But I looked at the inheritance and thought, some of this was bought with blood I didn't spill. Some of this trauma isn't mine, but carry still. Inheritance I refuse, not out of shame, but because I broke the link inside the chain. Inheritance I refused, I chose my own. Decided what to carry, what to loan. Inheritance I refuse to keep. The cycle ends with me in my sleep. Inheritance I refuse, I'm the break. The generation where the patterns shake. The things they learned to survive their war don't serve the peace that I was born for. Respect to every scar they had to wear, but I'm building something different from here. Cycle breaking is an act of love, not against them but in honor of the better life they wanted but couldn't reach. I'm living what they could only preach. Inheritance I refuse to keep. The cycle ends with me in my sleep. Inheritance I refused, I'm the break. The generation where the patterns shake. Broke the chain with both hands wide. Inheritance I refuse, and I survive. Yeah. 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 The story they told about me got old. The version of my life that they control. Protagonist of somebody else's fear. Supporting role in a plot that wasn't clear. I read the script and put it down midway. Decided I would write the thing my way. The narrative they built was a tight fit once, but I kept growing till the seams all bunched. Outgrew the narrative, busted at the edge. Characters don't fit when they walk off the ledge. Outgrew the narrative, too big for the box. Can't contain a life like this in writer's blocks. I outgrew the narrative they wrote. Every word they used became a code. I outgrew the narrative, I'm the author now. Every chapter mine, every line and how. Yeah, they say you are the story of your past, but past tense stories aren't designed to last. Present tense is where the power stays, and future tense is where I spend my days. I outgrew the villain, outgrew the victim too. Found the protagonist, that's actually true. The narrative I live now has no villain anyway, just a person finding their way every day. I outgrew the narrative they wrote. Every word they used became a code. I outgrew the narrative, I'm the author now. Every chapter mine, every line and how. Yeah. New genre, new character, new page. I outgrew the narrative, I turned the age. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. count negative, but the spirit flush. Living in the in-between, no rush. Poverty ain't just an empty wallet, it's the narrative that comes alongside it. They equate the broke with the broken soul, but my integrity was never for sale. Wallet thin, but the worth is fat. Can't measure me in the habitat. Broke but not broken, different things. One is circumstance and one is wings. Broke but not broken, I know the difference between the season low and the permanent cliff. Broke but not broken, still standing clear.
Financial weather doesn't define my year.
Doesn't. Broke but not broken, the spirit's whole.
And no condition never own my soul.
Yeah. The richest thing I carry is the fire, the drive to live my situation higher. Not driven by the greed of empty gain, driven by the freedom out of pain. I've seen people rich in things and broken spirit. I'd rather flip it, have the peace and feel it. Broke is temporary when the mind is set. Broken is the thing I never get. Broke but not broken, still standing clear.
Financial weather doesn't define my year.
Broke but not broken, the spirit's whole.
And no condition never own my soul.
Season heart, soul intact. Broke but not broken, that's a fact. Had to learn a whole new dialect, the language of believing in myself, the grammar of the self that isn't small, the vocabulary of standing tall. Previous tongue was fluent in the doubt, spoke the dialect, the going without. But languages can be learned and unlearned, and the new tongue is something that's earned. New language, different alphabet. The words I used to use I tried to forget. New language, speaking life instead, translating every limit out my head. New language, I'm still learning it. Some old words slip in, but I'm working. New language, fluent by degrees, speaking into existence what I need. They say words are just symbols in the air, but symbols build the architecture there. The way you narrate your life becomes the life. The tongue that speaks in fear cuts like a knife. So I practice the new tongue every day, even when the old one wants to stay. New language for a new chapter begun, speaking until the new becomes the one. New language, I'm still learning it. Some old words slip in, but I'm working. New language, fluent by degrees, speaking into existence what I need. Yeah. New world, new me, new language. That's the key, yeah. Yeah. 3 a.m. and I got things to say. Things too real for the middle of the day. When the light is low, the truth comes out. No performance needed, no stage, no shout. This is my testimony in the dark. Every wound, every win, every mark. No filters in the midnight hour. Just the raw and honest kind of power. Midnight testimony unedited. Every word I bury now is lifted. Midnight testimony, who I am. Not the polished version, but the diagram. Midnight testimony, truth that cost. Every honest word reclaims what's lost. Midnight testimony, I declare I survived the things I couldn't share. They want the highlight reel and not the behind. The victory lap, but not the grind. But my testimony lives in both places. The rises and the rock bottom faces. I testify because somebody needs to hear that the dark is navigable and the exit's near. Midnight testimony ain't just my release. It's the thing that gives the next person peace. Midnight testimony, truth that calls. Every honest word reclaims what's lost. Midnight testimony, I declare I survived the things I couldn't share. Yeah. Testified in the dark and found the light. Ooh, midnight testimony every night. Yeah. Yeah. They mispronounced it from the very start, abbreviated what was art. My name carries generations of weight, and they reduced it to fit through their gate. I used to let it slide, correct it soft. Now I say it full and stand it off. Reclaim the name is reclaim the root. The thing they trimmed is the thing that's true. Reclaim the name, say it right. Every syllable is small birthright. Reclaim the name, don't abbreviate. The full version is what carries weight. Reclaim the name, it's mine to keep. The history inside it runs so deep. Reclaim the name, speak it clear. The full name tells you everything from here. Identity is not negotiable, not the small thing, not the casual. When they shorten what you want to fit their mouth, they shorten in the north, the east, the south. I am the full pronunciation of my blood. Every ancestor in every syllable of the flood. Reclaim the name means reclaim the story. Every letter part of my original glory. Reclaim the name, it's mine to keep. The history inside it runs so deep. Reclaim the name, speak it clear. The full name tells you everything from here. Yeah. Say it full, say it right. Say it slow. Reclaim the name. Now you know, yeah. Stubborn is the word they use for my persist. Like determination was something to resist. Yeah. Called it difficult when I wouldn't fold. Called it attitude when I wouldn't be controlled. Yeah. But stubbornness in service of the real is the most beautiful thing I've come to feel. Stubborn, beautiful, I wear it now. The thing they criticized is my vow. Stubborn, beautiful, won't let it go. The thing they call my flaw is my plateau. Stubborn, beautiful, persistent and bright. Wouldn't quit until the thing came right. Stubborn, beautiful, that's my design. Unyielding, when the purpose is mine. Stubborn, beautiful, they called it wrong. I call it what kept me going this long. The world rewards the flexible and soft, the ones who bend to every gust of loft. But some visions need the rigid spine, the one that holds the shape of the design. I bent where bending served the bigger truth, and held where holding was the actual proof. Stubborn, beautiful, is surgical, not blind. It's the discipline of a made-up mind. stubborn, beautiful. That's my design. Unyielding, when the purpose is mine. Stubborn, beautiful. They called it wrong. I call it what kept me going this long. Yeah. Wanna apologize for the state. Stubborn, beautiful. Every day. Yeah. Yeah. This the version that they said was too much. Too ambitious, too loud, out of touch. This the version that they tried to trim. Told to dim the light when the room went dim. But them was never in my programming. I was built to be a different thing. The version they doubted had to grow alone. But alone is just a seed before it's shown. The version they doubted is the one that stayed. The version they doubted is the one that made. The version they doubted kept the faith inside. Now the version they doubted is the one that's wide. The version they doubted is the one you see, standing fully in the truth of me. The version they doubted never went away, just waited for its designated day. Doubt is just an opinion with authority. It only works if you give it priority. I found a doubt somewhere in the back. Never threw it out, just didn't unpack. Because sometimes doubt is useful as a test. Am I sure enough to walk through this distress? The version they doubted said yes every time, and yes became the lyric of this rhyme. The version they doubted is the one you see, standing fully in the truth of me. The version they doubted never went away. It just waited for its designated day. Doubted tested still arrive. The version they doubted survive. Yeah. Yeah. Waited long for someone to say go. Waited for the green light from the row. Stood at the gate holding the request for someone to approve what was already blessed. And I realized the office I was at was run by ghosts in an imaginary flat. Nobody was behind the desk to sign. The only signature required was mine. Permission slip, I wrote it myself. Took the weight and then put it on the shelf. Permission slip, the pen was in my hand. Whole time I had it, couldn't understand. Permission slip, self-authorized, no external validation recognized. Permission slip, I granted here to become the thing I've always been in fear. The gatekeepers were never real in full. They were real enough to feel the pull. But pull is not the chain unless you let it. And I chose the day to just forget it. I give myself permission to be great, to occupy my full and rightful space. Permission slip, signed, dated, sealed, and everything I ever was is healed. Permission slip, self-authorized, no external validation recognized. Permission slip, I granted here to become the thing I've always been in fear. Yeah. Signed my own release, a long time coming. Permission slip, now I'm running, yeah. 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 This is land nobody till before. No instruction manual, no law. I'm standing on the ground, I broke myself. Took it off the shelf for someone else. Some broken ground is the hardest place to stand. No blueprint, no guidance, no hand. It's the open field of the unprecedented, and everything that I have ever intended. Unbroken ground, first footsteps here. Every step I take is a pioneer. Unbroken ground, no map to trust, just the will to build from what I'm on. Unbroken ground,
This is where I play.
every dream that they said I can't. Unbroken ground,
This is where I stay.
building from the nothing every day. Yeah. To the ones who came before the road existed, to the ones whose names history resisted, to the ones who moved through open field alone. This unbroken ground is your rightful home. And to the ones still standing at the edge of the uncharted and the outer ledge, the ground don't break itself without you there. Step onto it, it was waiting, it was fair. Unbroken ground,
This is where I play.
every dream that they said I can't. Unbroken ground,
This is where I stay.
building from the nothing every day. Yeah, yeah. First to stand here, not the last. Unbroken ground, built to last.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.